My name is Marco Hutteman. I work for Force Technology in a Danish company, a GTS company, that is a research and development company, and I do business development for them. We do research and development. We go from aerospace to medicals to oil and gas, actually. So actually we are in custody transfer calibrations. That means we go for fair trade in billing oil and gas, mainly in gas. So we do the calibrations and make sure that the measurement devices are on par and will give you a reliable bill. And this will keep on coming even in the next decades when we will go on certain routes that will get us to greener energies. Well, it can be a personal and a professional question. So for sure, we team up in all the research and development programs, trying to develop technologies to do carbon capture, or even to get power to X in order to get renewable fuels. On a personal level, I think it is trying to decrease your own footprint, because decarbonisation is not like just a technical thing, it's also thinking of your personal energy footprint on your own consumptions. People need to think how to frame politicians' wishes into real life reality. So then the goals 2020, 2030, 2050, actually to me they're just like points on the horizon in a course that we need to sail. It's not a matter of if we should do this, no, we must do this. Because if we, look around, I think it's February now and it's 18 degrees. So I think the climate has changed. It's not anymore a question if it does. So we need to figure out ways to reduce the footprints. And it starts with yourselves. And it starts what you do as a professionalist. So I need to set my mind into how to develop technologies to do that. And as a research and development company, we try to do our fair share in setting brilliant minds to do that. And it comes from very niche technologies, how to capture carbon, how to store it, how to transport it, and what to do with, for instance, CO2 that you can capture, because it's a gas and it's complicated and we don't know much about it. We don't know about the transition into hypercritical phases of CO2, what to do with that, and how to build test facilities to make sure that whatever we have measured is accurate enough to be able to be built, because that's the new thing. We're going to be built for CO2 emissions, for instance. And in the past years, it was like a thing from Brussels in Europe, but nowadays you have to really pay for that. Once you pay, you want to know that the bill is again righteous. And it comes back to what I do in my day-to-day job, is make sure that the bill is righteous. And on the decarbonisation, we are just, making the baby steps in that domain. So us as a company contribute to all these research and development projects to make it available in the next decades. Because this is also reality. Research is baby steps. It takes time from an idea in the lab towards the real life application. Can take 30 years. Today it's 2024, so then in 30 years it's already past 2050. So we have to be realistic on ambitions. But politicians need to set the goals that we need to try to meet. If we meet it, it will be nice, at least we're on the way. And transitions are not made, in 1 year. It takes maybe a decade or maybe 2 decades or even a generation to get there. And if we are not able as an industry to attract young people to be proud to work in a sector that I work in, then it's going to be very difficult for us to make the change. And it's going to be very difficult for society to make the change, because the change can only come from within. If it will be forced, it will not work, because the an inconvenient truth is actually that if we take the energy consumptions worldwide, 88% is fossil fuels. And if you take that out, the equation, yeah, probably will work, but our life would be back to the 1800s or something. And I think that's something society will never accept. So us as oil and gas professionals, we need to do storytelling and also be able to tell the inconvenience truth of today's livelihood, and not say, okay, we don't want to change, because there's many old gray people that say, hey, it's not true, we need to stay where we are. No, we need to change, we need to adapt, like we've done in I think in the last 50 years. So that's nothing new for our industry. Actually, it's a more generic question on that. In today's society, it is very difficult to share knowledge. You can see it in lectures here that people have to put a disclosure remark on the beginning of the lectures because the lawyers, they say whatever you read here is just for this event. And if you want to share knowledge, and we're a research and development company, to us it's natural that whenever I have an opinion, I share it. Whenever I have data available, I share it because it's my livelihood. But to industry, it is becoming more and more difficult because it's protected by lawyers, by intellectual property, because it's us, we don't want to share because it's a competitive edge. And if you want to change, then you need to share. It's the only way to do that. And we need to make the next step in order how to share the things that we've developed. And I think sharing is caring. And when you talk about the decarbonisation, it's caring about our planet. So I think we should do that.